Hello Suzuki community. So I decided to make this video to try to help people diagnose a no spark issue with their Samurai, whether it's the 1.3 stock motor, the 1.6 liter 16 valve, which is what's currently in this vehicle, and the 1.68 valve. I mean, this could probably work for different older vehicles too that have the same type of ignition system, but yeah, this will just be for the Samurai guys for now anyways. So my vehicle was out of commission for over a year, and so the first thing you want to check is your battery. If you got a weak battery or a bad cell in your battery, or you suspect it's bad, replace it with either a new one or one out of a working vehicle, because I cannot stress that enough, because that's what the problem was with this. I ruled out my battery being the issue by simply putting jumper cables on it and connecting a second battery to the system and figuring it can't be the battery because, you know, we got a booster on it and we put a second battery on it, and that ended up being the issue. The issue there is that your computer requires at least 11 volts, and this battery had, well, the old battery that I replaced had a bad cell in it, and as soon as I turned the key on the starter, the voltage would drop in this battery, causing my computer to turn off. And I went through replacing the ignition control module, the coil. I was looking into a distributor, possibly a computer. It all came down to the battery. So I cannot stress that enough. Make sure your battery is good. All right. So on your stock Samurai, you should have an inline fuse on the power wire. So pull that out and make sure that fuse is good. Second thing you guys want to check, inside you should have a fuse box underneath the dash, and you want to be looking for the IG coil meter fuse. Pull that out, make sure it's good, make sure it's not all corroded. Throw in a new one if you want, but verify that it's working. So with most of these tests, you just want to have your key on to make sure you got power going through your vehicle. All right, so another issue could be your main relay. If that's not closing correctly, it won't really give you power through your system. Mine is located on the passenger side. Yours will probably be under the dash on the driver's side. When you turn the key just to the on position, you should hear clicks if it's working correctly. All right, so make sure your battery has at least 11 volts, 12 volts, and check to see if you got power on your main power wire on your distributor. I think mine is the black wire with the white stripe there. So if your relay is working correctly, you should have power on this wire. If it is not, then that wire will basically be dead, and you should replace your relay first before you go any further. All right, so once you get to this point, just double check, pull your cap off, pull your spark plug out, ground it somewhere on the engine, like your exhaust manifold. Get somebody to crank it and see if you got sparks at the plugs. I'm assuming you don't, because you're here for a no spark issue. So at that point, you'll want to pull your main power wire that comes from your coil off and ground it somewhere where it can ground, either on the engine head or on the manifold. Make sure it's not too far so it can bridge the gap. Same thing, get somebody to crank it. All right, so if you have power on that big wire when you ground it here, it's probably your distributor that's bad, because you're getting power into it but nothing's coming out. So you'll have to open that up and check that out, see if it needs to be replaced. If you still don't have power, well, next thing you want to check is your coil. So if you got a stock Samurai, you'll probably have the canister style coil, but it'll be the same idea. You should have two wires and then a big wire. All right, so the way this works is power goes in the one wire, charges your secondary coil, and then comes out. All right, so you're going to want to ground your test light somewhere on the body, and with this one here, you want to back probe the wires. Do not unplug it and test it from the other side. Back probe the wires with a paper clip or a small pin. Take your test light. It should light up on both these wires, should light it up. Now if it lights up on the one wire but not the other wire, you probably have a bad primary winding because it's not letting the power through. So then you'll need to replace your coil. All right. So if it lights up on both, you'll want to check your signal wire while somebody's cranking the engine with your test light. It should flicker real fast. Don't use an LED one, use the little light bulb one there. So check and see if it's flashing. If it's not flashing, then your igniter isn't doing its job. Either that or the computer. But this is cheap and easy to replace, so I'd suggest replacing that if you aren't getting the flicker signal when somebody's cranking on this one. All right. Now, if it is flashing and you have power on the other wire, then it's probably your secondary winding that's bad in your coil. So replace it if that's your issue. So if you replace your igniter and you still aren't getting the signal here, then your computer isn't sending the signal. So your computer might be bad at that point. But another test you guys could try is your distributor has 3 wires on it. Well, mine does anyways. Yours might have more. Should be at least 3, because one is 12 volt with the key on, another's ground, and the other one is a signal wire from your pickup coil. All right, so you can test your signal wire and verify that your distributor is sending signal to your computer. So if it is sending signal to your computer, but your computer is not sending it out to your igniter, then there's a good chance you might need to send in your computer to get rebuilt or buy a second one. But if you got power coming into your distributor on your main 12 volt power wire, but it's not sending any voltage out through that white signal wire, then there's a good chance that your pickup coil is bad inside your distributor. So you'll either need to try to find another coil for your distributor or replace it entirely. So hopefully this helps you guys out and can diagnose the issue, kind of narrow down where the problem is instead of just throwing money and parts at it like I did. But yeah, if this helps you guys out, just leave a like, and if you have any more questions, just leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to help you guys out.